actually, no, no, no. The verse is also Tirtha only.
Ah,
So Divyathirtha Prabhu speak on Divyathirtha.
I know, interesting, Prabhu. Thank you for reminding me that I should do something towards that. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we will start. Jai Radha Madhav, just give me 1 second. Huh? Ah, yes. No, thank you. Share my screen. नहीं आता नहीं ब्रो, आप बजाओ. जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज विहारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी, जय गिरिवरधारी. गोपी जन वल्लभा, जया गिरिवरधारी, जया गिरिवरधारी, जया यशोदानन्दना, जया व्रजजनरञ्जना, जया व्रजजनरञ्जना. जया व्रजजनरञ्जना, जया यमुनातीरावनचारी, जया कुञ्ज बिहारी, जया यमुनातीरावनचारी, जया कुञ्ज बिहारी. जय राधा माधव, जया कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा, जया कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे रामा, हरे रामा, राम राम हरे हरे. कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे रामा, हरे रामा, राम राम हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे हरे, हरे रामा, हरे रामा, राम राम हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे हरे, राम राम हरे हरे. श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। We'll start with the prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Gana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giram Yatkripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, we welcome you all for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I have some issues, so I'm not able to share my screen, so please forgive me about that. Thank you, Mataji, for coming. Thank you, Shyam Kishore Prabhu. Thank you, Rohini Nandan Prabhu. Like sometimes it happens in the school, the teacher calls the most notorious student and they ask him, come to the stage. Dikhao tumko kya pata hai? And that guy is just completely shivering, have no idea what is going to happen. So that's my situation. I'm utterly unqualified to be here speaking Srimad Bhagavatam in front of great sages of Naimisharanya here. So please forgive me if I have any shortcomings. But if at all, if I'm able to convey, I'm not different from this mic. The only qualification I have is I have a mercy of all of you so that I can actually speak something. If at all you like something, I humbly request you all to please pray for myself and my family. We are struggling from top to bottom, trying to somehow swim across the current of this material existence. So we are today reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 8, Text 42. It's already there. So we will recite it together. Tattata gaccha badram te
Tata gaccha badram te
yamunayastatam suchi
yamunayastatam suchi
punyam madhuvanam yatra
madhuvanam yatra
sanidhyam nityadaharehe Nityadaharehe tattata gaccha badram te
Tata gacchatam badre
yamunayastatam suchi
yamuna Satam Suchi.
Punyam madhuvanam yatra
Madhuvanam Yatra.
Sanidyam nityada harehe
Nityam Nityada Hare.
Tattata gaccha badram te
Tata Gaccha Badram Te.
Yamunaya statam suchi
Yamunaya Satam Suchi.
Punyam madhuvanam yatra
Punyam Madhuvanam Yatra.
Sanidyam nityada harehe.
Nityam Nityada Hare.
Anyone wants to try?
Tattata Gaccha Badram Te.
Tattata gaccha badram te
Yamunaya Satam Suchi.
Yamunaya statam suchi
Madhuvanam Yatra.
Punyam madhuvanam yatra
Sanityam Yada Hare.
Sanidyam nityada harehe
Tattata Gaccha Badram Te.
Tattata gaccha badram te
Yamunaya Satam Suchi.
Yamunaya statam suchi
Punyam Madhuvanam Yatra.
Punyam madhuvanam yatra
Sanityam Nityada Hare.
Sanidyam nityada harehe. Would you like to try, Mataji? Tattata gaccha badram te Yamunaya statam suchi Punyam madhuvanam yatra Sanidyam nityada harehe. Synonyms: Tat,
Tat,
that. Tata,
Tata,
my dear son.
my dear son.
Gacha,
Gaccha,
go.
go.
Badram,
Badram,
good fortune. Te,
Te,
for you. Yamunayaha,
Yamunaya,
of the Yamuna.
of the Yamuna.
Tatam,
Tatam,
bank. Suchi,
Suchi.
being purified. Punyam,
Punyam,
the holy. Madhuvanam,
Madhuvanam.
of the name Madhuvan.
The name Madhuvan.
Yatra,
Yatra,
where. Sanidhyam,
Sanityam,
being nearer. Nityada, always.
always.
Harehe,
Hare,
of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
of the Supreme Personality of God.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of Yamuna, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvan, and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always lives there. Purport. Both Narada Muni and Suniti, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, advised Dhruva Maharaj to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Narada Muni is specially giving him direction how this worship of Supreme Person can very quickly fructify. He recommends that Dhruva Maharaj go to the bank of Yamuna, where there is a forest of name Madhuvan, and begins his meditation and worship there. Places of pilgrimage yield a special advantage for a devotee in quickly advancing in spiritual life. Lord Krishna lives everywhere, but still it is very easy to approach him in holy places of pilgrimage because these places are inhabited by great sages. Lord Sri Krishna says that he lives wherever his devotees are chanting the glories of his transcendental activities. There are many places of pilgrimage in India, and especially prominent are Badri Narayan, Dwarka, Rameshwar, and Jagannath Puri. These sacred places are called the four dhams. Dham refers to a place where one can immediately contact the Supreme Lord. To go to the Badri Narayan, one has to pass through Haridwar on the path to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, there are other holy places of pilgrimage, such as Prayag and Mathura, and the topmost of them all is Vrindavan. Unless one is very advanced in spiritual life, it is recommended that he lives in such a holy places and execute devotional service there. But an advanced devotee like Narada Muni, who is engaged in preaching work, can serve the Supreme Lord anywhere. Sometimes he even goes to the hellish planets. Hellish conditions do not affect Narada Muni because he is engaged in greatly responsible activities and devotional service. According to the statements of Narada Muni, Madhuvan, which is still existing in Vrindavan area, in the district of Mathura, is a most sacred place. Many saintly persons still live there and engage in devotional service of the Lord. There are 12 forests in the area of Vrindavan. The Madhuvan is one of them. Pilgrims from all the parts of India assemble together and visit all 12 of these forests. There are 5 forests on eastern bank of Yamuna: Bhadravan, Bilavan, Lauhavana, Mandirvan, and Mahavan. On the western side of the bank are 7: Madhuvan, Talavan, Kamudavan, Bahulavan, Kamyavan, Khadiravan, and Vrindavan. In those 12 forests, there are different ghats or bathing places. These are listed follow: Avimukta, Adiruddha, Guhyatirtha, Prayaga Kanakhala, Tendula Tirtha, Surya Tirtha, Vataswami, Dhruv where there are many nice trees of fruits and flowers, is famous because Dhruv Maharaj meditated and underwent severe penances and austerities there in elevated spot. Rishi Tirtha, Moksha Tirtha, Buddha Tirtha, Gokarna, Krishna Ganga, Vaikuntha, Asikunda, Chatu Samudrika Kupa, Akrura Tirtha, when Krishna and Balram were going to Mathura in the chariot driven by Akrura, all of them took bath in Ghat. Yajnika Viprasthana, Kubja Kupa, Rangasthala, Manchasthala, Malayudasthana, and Dashwamedha. So this is a beautiful verse. Before we start speaking, I want to seek all of your blessings, and please forgive me. You must be expecting Shamanand Krishna Prabhu will be there, and somehow people like me are standing here and talking actually on this very highest topic, where actually Narada Muni is telling Dhruv Maharaj to go to Vrindavan, and specifically he's mentioning him to go to Madhuvan forest. And Prabhupada just took this opportunity to share or outpour his heart, talking about every sthan practically in Vrindavan. So this is the heart of a devotee. It is said one has to approach Vrindavan in the mood of Akrura. And then Prabhupada mentions about Akrura Ghat here actually. So when Akrura comes to Vrindavan, how does he enter there? Actually, it happened. I was going for the yatra, and Rasika Bhuvi Prabhu came just day before. And then he just came for a few minutes, but we ended up talking for hours. And then he actually mentioned a beautiful aspect of what is happening in Akrura's heart. And I was just mesmerized by that, and that is so close to my heart. So when actually Kamsa invites Akrura and he asks him, you go there and then bring Krishna and Balaram. And Kamsa know that Akrura is very close to Krishna and Balram. That's like his worshipable deities. And he actually calls, and then he actually brings the whole brand new chariot for Krishna and Balram to bring in here. So he was mentioning about that. Now, Akrura's situation is so far, he's like Vibhishan, in a very similar consciousness or similar thought process, where he is actually worshipping Krishna or worshipping Lord Ram in the case of Vibhishan, in the kind of little fear, because now he is not able to publicly actually share his heart in terms of how much he loves Krishna and the associate of Krishna. So in this case, now Akrura is open now. Wow, Kamsa himself is calling me for that purpose. So he is so joyous because he's so eager to go to Vrindavan from Mathura and see his beloved Lord, the Lord of his life. He's so eager, and he's going on his chariot, meditating on Krishna's beautiful pastimes. And then when he enters Vrindavan, he sees the lotus foot of Krishna. And when he sees, he gets down from his chariot and actually rolls on the ground, thinking that this is actually the beautiful place where Krishna walked with his cowherd boys. And it is mentioned in scriptures, when Krishna is walking in the Vrajabhumi, the Gopas make sure the Krishna's footsteps are never overstepped. And when Krishna is walking the cows, when he is taking the cows for herding, the cows actually just break the dust and the stone particles on the street of Vrindavan Dham, so that when Krishna walks, it should be very smooth walk for him. Because this is beautifully mentioned when Yashoda Maya is making the shoes for Krishna. Krishna saying, Maya, what about the cows? And then Yashoda says, we have lakhs of cows. How can I make it? Then Maya, I will not wear these shoes either. So the cows, when they hear, they are in so much of ecstasy. So when they walk in front, they pour their milk on the street so that it is soft dust of Krishna for him to walk. This is a reciprocation of Krishna. So Akruda enters there and finally he comes to Krishna, and then the joy cannot be experienced, right? I was just thinking about this thing when Shamkishore Prabhu was giving a class yesterday talking about the glories of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I was thinking about one of the aspect which Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, the highest of all holy places is Kurukshetra Dham. And when I heard this line, I was kind of a little bewildered, especially when you read Nectar of Instruction, where all of the holy places, it is considered to be Mathura, and then on top of it, Vrindavan, and then in Giri Govardhan, and on top of it, it comes to Radhakund. And here, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, Kurukshetra is the highest place of worship. And he mentions why Kurukshetra is the highest place of worship. Because after many years, when actually everyone gets together at Kurukshetra, because there was a lunar eclipse, is that right, Prabhu, or solar eclipse? It was lunar eclipse, is that right? So everyone comes together actually to Kurukshetra, and then Krishna comes, and all the Vrajavasis are invited there as well. And when they come to that holy place, the mood of separation is so strong. Prabhu was mentioning about he is experiencing, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is experiencing the viraha. And then he actually mentions that the amount of pain which was in the heart of Brajavasis when they come there, when they see the Lord of their life, they outpour their heart in the form of tears incessantly flowing from their eyes. And that's the time actually, this is, if you see Madhya Leela, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is going for Jagannath Rath Yatra, he is feeling the similar separation because he is in the mood of Radharani, and he is bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan. And when he is bringing back Krishna back to Vrindavan, he is actually exchanging the loving reciprocation. He is speaking to Lord Jagannath. And at that time, Swarup Damodar Goswami starts reciting from Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lord Chaitanya is actually going deep into ecstasy, remembering how Srimati Radharani was experiencing when Krishna was there at Kurukshetra. She says, yeah, you are Krishna, but you are not the same Krishna. I want to see you in the same form as a Gopa. And then actually they start from there. So this is Vrindavan, this is a mood of Vrindavan which carry forward in the heart of all the devotees of Rajabhumi, and then they permeate the love of Vrindavan everywhere they go. There is this beautiful pastime. I would not go into the detail of that, but I would like to share this, and because there is a prominent lines which Krishna is speaking, glorifying Vrindavan. What is the glorification of Vrindavan? So it happens, Indulekha, who is one of the gopis, she actually goes to fetch the water from the well. And when she comes there, Krishna is there. And he says, Indulekha, I'm sorry to say, but you have to pay the taxes as equal as the amount of water you draw from the well. And Indulekha, Mother Indulekha says, oh, you are asking like these wells belong to you? He said, yeah, I'm the son of Nanda Maharaj. The whole Vrindavan belongs to me. And then she becomes angry and she starts walking. And in the mind, she is thinking, I'm going to go and complain Sri Radha. Always Krishna stops wherever we go. He always stops us and asks taxes from us. I'm going to complain her and ask her, you should never see Krishna. And as she is thinking on the way, she sees a beautiful, sannyasi, actually woman sannyasi. And then Indulekha, when she sees the beauty of this beautiful aesthetic, she is so mesmerized. And and she is singing on Ektara. That's one of the instrument Indradumna Maharaj was mentioning about. And she is singing so beautifully. Indulekha is mesmerized. And she says, "Oh, ascetic, you are so beautiful. You are singing so charming. Let me take you to the queen of Raja. Let me take to the palace of Rishabhanu." She says, "Why would I go there?" She said, "Rishabhanu Maharaj will be very happy to see you and he'll be offering a lot of gifts in the charity. Why don't you come?" And I don't want to go in much detail there, but this ascetic is none other than Krishna. I'll pause there. Please forgive me. So, this ascetic who is actually Krishna disguised in the form of this ascetic. And Krishna says this beautiful line, which I really liked, and Indradanu Maharaj quotes, and I just want to read. This is a very beautiful one. It says, she responds to Indulekha, "Having accepted renounced order of life, my home is this Vrindavan forest. My bed is soft dust of Vrindavan. Sky of Vrindavan is my blanket. Flowery creepers of Vrindavan are my only belongings. Moon of Vrindavan is my lamp of hopes." And this is the crux. "My chanting beads, counting the days until I meet the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna." A very, very deep and very profound statement which Krishna is sharing here, how much love he has for Vrindavan. And he is actually glorifying Vrindavan, talking about the glories of every aspect of Sri Vrindavan Dham. I was just remembering when I used to sit with Nancy and we used to discuss where will we go for after retirement, and she would say, "I want to go to Vrindavan," and I would say, "I want to go to Mayapur." And we would argue, saying why she wants to go to Vrindavan and why I want to go to Mayapur. But Krishna has different plan. And it is such a deep, profound arrangement of the Lord. While we were in Toronto, the things were completely hopeless and we didn't have visa to come here, but somehow she got a job before she gave an interview and she got a job offer. And within that period of time, all of that happened. And then somehow she got to come here. And with her visa, we entered to United States. But then she ended up in the hospital and she was struggling for the survival. But somehow she got discharged and we were staying in Grand Rapids at that time. His Grace Shaman Krishna Prabhu, whatever I'm speaking is because of all his glories. So today's class is dedicated to his lotus feet. So what was happening at the time, actually, Shaman and Krishna Prabhu actually told her, "Why don't you read His Holiness Shivran Maharaj books, actually talking about the esoteric pastimes of Radha Krishna?" Now, of course, he wanted to speak to her because she's a Matali, so somehow she included me. I'm like a dog standing there. There is no point for me to actually understand because I'm not at that consciousness. And at that time, she actually starts reading these books. And then when she would read the pastime, she would call me, "Come here, sit here. I want to share this pastime." This is before her vocal cord was disconnected. So she was able to speak. And I was so caught up in so much this medicines and all that stuff, how to take care of this, what should I do? I would sometimes say, "Nancy, sorry, I'm just caught up with so many things. I can't actually hear and relish these pastimes." But she would still somehow force me and tell me these pastimes. And I realize one who has just a simple desire to live in Vraja, Vrindavan actually itself reciprocates with that devotee. And then while she was on her deathbed about to leave her body, she was meditating on these pastimes. She wasn't able to speak, but her deep desire or deep meditation was actually meditating on these pastimes. And one of the healer actually who were trying to actually remotely heal, and that's the science I've realized. At that time, I never knew the deep aspect of this. So this is actually a devotee who lives in Mumbai, and she was actually healing her. And then she mentions she was mentioning, every day, she wants to leave her body today, but I'm trying to tell her, you can live in this body for a good period of time. But she says, no, I want to leave this body. And this is a conversation happening between her and her soul. And then this devotee was asking, does she have connection with Rajapur Jagannath? I'm like, maybe, I do not know, but she says, whenever I actually go close to her, talk to her, I see Rajapur Jagannath. And I didn't understand the puzzle because I was so caught up with that. Later down the line, I realized actually when we went first time to Yatra to Jagannath Puri, to Mayapur, but actually we went to Jagannath Puri. From there, we went to Mayapur. And then when we went there, this is the first time when we are taking darshan of Rajapur Jagannath. There was one Bengali devotee who was actually singing the beautiful bhajan of Bhaja Bhakta Vatsala. And he was singing with such an intoxicating voice of devotion. We were just completely mesmerized while the bhoga is being offered to Lord Jagannath. And she would sing this song multiple times, remembering actually Rajapur Jagannath Balde Subhadramaya. And then the other thing which she mentioned, and I was just thinking about this part, when she left this world, there were two healers actually who were the multiple healers, but there were two who actually said everything related to Vrindavan. So there was this one Mataji who's been healing her for months. She is actually a disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, very elevated devotee. She has been blessed by this healing therapy, and Maharaj actually told her that you should serve devotees with this. This is the blessing you have. So she said that night, that because it was afternoon here, but that was a night in India, she was doing a Govardhan Parikrama. She was doing a Vraja Parikrama, and she was on the bike, the cycle. And then this devotee, because she is old, and this devotee was taking her there. And when she actually reached near the temple, at that time she felt she is feeling very light. This is the exact time Nayan Sundari left her body. The second devotee actually said, when this is few hours after her departure, that I saw her near Kusum Sarovar in Vrindavan. See, the point to connect these all dots together, a person who has desired to live in Vrindavan, a person who has desire, even just smallest desire to actually be approaching Vrindavan, Vrindavan reciprocates to that person in the deepest aspect of the devotional service. So Vrindavan actually reciprocated. There is another friend of her who is a devotee. She was in Vrindavan at the time. She did not know that she left her body. And then she was mentioning that she was actually in Krishna Balram Mandir. And there is a tree in the center of Krishna Balram Mandir actually. She says, after the Guru Puja, I came out. I saw her offering a Guru Puja to Srila Prabhupada. And she said, I saw her. And I can't understand that aspect. I didn't know that she left her body, but she was just mentioning about this pastime. So, one who has attachment to Vrindavan, Vrindavan is so powerful. It says it's a Chintamani Dham. Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara. So this is Vrindavan. While Prabhuji gave me this topic to speak on it, and I was thinking, what am I going to speak on that? So I started reading the beautiful pastime of Vrindavan, and I was just thinking about it to speak. And my daughter came at 11:30, 11:45. This is first time I'm seeing you being awake at so night, and I wanted to know what are you doing. And I just mentioned saying that I'm reading this beautiful book, which is actually mentioning the beautiful aspect of Krishna's Vrindavan. And this happens actually, this is a narration which is happening, or this is a discussion between Nanda Maharaj and the brother of Nanda Maharaj. And then he actually mentions, because now after Putana has killed Krishna, Putana trying to kill Krishna, and Trenavarta is trying to actually bring calamities to Vrindavan, they are thinking to go to Gokula. They are thinking we should move to Vrindavan. And this is the conversation between Sunanda and then Nanda Maharaj. He is mentioning about that. He's saying, therefore, we should all go to Vrindavan along with children. When the calamities have passed, we will return again. And you see, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining in Srimad Bhagavatam, he is actually telling to Hiranyakashipu, he's saying, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, "O best of the Asuras, the king of demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted the temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by the anxiety because of having fallen in the dark well, where there is no water but only suffering. That's why one should give up his position and go to the forest. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavan, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." And this is how Sunanda is quoting Prahlad Maharaj, saying that, he is talking about this is actually Vrindavan Dham, and we should go actually there. And then actually, he also mentions there, because it just Raghunath Das Goswami writes, or Narottam Das Thakur actually writes there. He said, "Vishaya chariya kabe shuddha bimana kabe ha beheri bashri Vrindavan." When will my mind be completely freed from all contamination of desire for material pleasure? Only at that time will it be possible for me to understand Vrindavan. My spiritual master was giving a class one time in Fogla Ashram. And then the first line he said, "Krishna and all the Gopas are actually herding the cows here in front of our eyes. But unfortunately, we can't see because our eyes are filled with the modes of material nature, thinking about enjoyment in this material world. But when we have purified," Prabhuji was mentioning about Premanjana Purichap, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. So it's a beautiful thing. When our eyes are anointed with love of Krishna, then only we will see Vrindavan. And this is what is being mentioned here. In order to attain Vrindavan, one must long to serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, as do Sananda, Nanda, Yashoda, and all the other inhabitants of Raja. One has to develop the mood of Rajavasi. Right? The longing can be attained by becoming attached to the instruction given by six Goswamis. Krishnadas Kaviraj says that. Headed by Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. You're mentioning about that yesterday, that we should follow that. And Sri Sunanda said, the wise know that Mathura Mandal is the northeast of Brahisad, south of Yadapur, and west of Sonapurna. He mentions that the greater area of Mathura Vrindavan includes 12 forests as well as the 24 small groves. The names of smaller groves are Gokula, Govardhan, Barsana, Nandagram, Saket, Paramadra, Irving, Sheshaimat, Uchagram, Kelban, Srikun, Govardhan, Persoli, and then the list goes on. And then he actually mentions saying that the Vrindavan Dham is even more worshipable than Prayagraj. And he actually asked that even Prayagraj actually worships Vrindavan Dham. And he actually mentioned, so in Vasudev's place in Mathura, I heard from the mouth of Garga Muni that even Prayag, the king of holy place, worship the transcendental land of Mathura Mandal. So now Nanda Maharaj is bewildered. He said, "Can you explain me more? How was Prayagraj worshipping Mathura Mandala Dham, Vrindavan specifically?" And then it is said, what is happening is, in this is beautiful pastime which is talking about when Mother Earth is in the deep water of the ocean. And at the time, the Vedas are being spoken. This is when Lord appeared as Matsya Avatar. And then he is actually at the time from the mouth of Brahma, the Vedas are being spoken. And then one demon actually takes all the Vedas and then hides them. And Lord comes as a fish incarnation and actually kills that demon. And then they actually come to Prayagraj. And when they come to Prayagraj, at the time they Brahmaji actually worship Prayagraj. And he actually invites all the holy places to bring the water from all the places to Prayagraj. A lot of devotees, a lot of people are going to actually Prayagraj for that Kumbh Mela. And this is beautifully mentioned. So Sananda is mentioning, saying that at the time they actually worship. And then everyone, all the holy places brought the gift for Prayagraj. And at that time, Narada Muni comes at that place and he tells to Prayagraj, oh, so you are the holiest of all holy places. Everyone is coming to offer you gift. You are so great. But let me tell you something. One person is not there. One holy place is not there. And what is that? Vrindavan is not here to offer you the place, offer you the worship. And then Prayagraj thinks, hmm. And then immediately he goes actually to Lord Krishna, saying that Lord Vishnu, he says, my Lord, you offered me the position of the highest of all holy places. Everyone is coming to offer me the gifts. But to my surprise, I have a complaint for you. Vrindavan did not come. And then Lord Krishna says, oh, so you wanted to become the king of my abode? Because Vrindavan is my heart. Vrindavan is my abode. I offered you all holy places, but I didn't offer you my place because I rule that kingdom of Vrindavan to Vrindavan. I can't give you that. That's my holy place. And I live there. And that's where Prayagraj realized his position and actually came there to worship Vrajabhumi, worship Vrindavan. This is the position of Vrindavan. This is the position of Vrindavan, where even Prayagraj actually comes to the offer the highest service to actually to Vrajabhumi. This is Prayagraj offering these. So how, what is the position of Vrindavan here? I was just thinking about this thing when there was a video being circulated about how many people are there in Prayagraj, and it was so crowded. It was looking like these are like tiny beds just lying on the floor, the stones. It's just filled with those. So I remember we somehow went to Vrindavan by mercy of his grace, Shaman and Krishna Prabhu. And I just want to share this, how Vrindavan is so reciprocating even to an insignificant person who has just desire to actually go to Vrindavan. And I just want to share, not that I have any qualification, but I just want to share this personal realization. So our yatra was in Mayapur, so my flight was booked till Calcutta. So we were supposed to land in Delhi from Chicago, and then there was a flight to Calcutta. So I thought, who cares? I'm just going to get down at Delhi and I'll figure out my way to Kolkata. And because I was thinking I'm the most intelligent person and I know to basically get around, but I got to know the rule of the flight is that if you are miss one part of your itinerary, your return flight is cancelled. And I just got to know 3 days before. And I'm just trying to work around calling them airline in a different way, but somehow they said no, because you booked to the end. If you do not do that, automatically system cancel. We don't have a control over it. I'm like, Krishna, I really want to go to Vrindavan. And it happens that day when we are landing is the Radhakund appearance day. So I'm like, how can I really miss not going there? And I'm just thinking about it. So I jot down a plan. The plan is when I get down at Delhi station and I have a kidney stone issue, so I'm going to tell them I have a pain, I have to go to the hospital. And then I'll just go there and then I'll tell them that I missed the flight. But I pause there because what had happened, and I just want to tell you how for devotees we have to be very careful. And please forgive me, I'm giving my ridiculous example here. So one time I was going to Radha Desh Melos in Belgium, but I didn't have enough leaves. But I really wanted to go because I was waiting for years and years to attend that kirtan. So I told my boss, I have a kidney stone. and I am in the hospital. So he said, okay, you take care of yourself. So I landed in Belgium. The moment I landed in Belgium, we went to the place where we were staying. I had a stomach ache and I was taking medicine, whatever it is needed, but nothing was working out. After a few hours, I realized, man, this is the kidney stone pain. And I have no idea how the hospital system works and whatever happens there. And Krishna Kumar Prabhu took me somehow to the hospital, to the ER there. And I was in so much pain. The kirtan is going on at that time. And I'm like, this is first day. I really want to attend this kirtan. And I'm there in that place. And then this happens, and I was in the hospital for almost 8 hours. And I came while I was in the hospital, they were putting all the saline and all that stuff. I immediately remembered I said a lie. I have a kidney stone and it manifested right here. So now I'm thinking, if I'm going to say this statement, man, forget about going to Radhakund. I will just be in the hospital lying somewhere in Vrindavan rather than actually seeing Radhakund. So what do I do? And my kids are fortunate that they were not willing to actually say lie. They said, we will not say lie. So I landed there. I don't have an internet, but somehow there is a desire. Let me check any email is there. I don't know why is that I would do on roaming, which is going to be charged much higher cost. I thought I want to check an email. And I switched on my Wi-Fi or whatever is the data. And my first email says your flight has been cancelled. And I'm just shocked. No, it doesn't say cancel, it says it's postponed. And postponed, I thought maybe some later time, but postponed after 2 days. So I'm like, and I just had tears in my eyes at that moment. And I was just praying to Nayan Sundari because of her. I was able to actually attain Vrindavan because I'm utterly unqualified to even go. And we landed. And then I went to the airline. Oh, it's all your fault. My flight is cancelled. I wanted to go to that place. It's just material calculation. I'm just such a rascal. And then they said, what do you want? I want to go to Calcutta on this day. When was that date? When I have a yatra in Calcutta. They said, okay, we will give you that date. Now, the same flight was ridiculously expensive, but they had to give us for the same cost without paying a single penny because it was their fault, whatever is the arrangement of the lot. And then we took a car and then we went to Vrindavan. And when we went to Vrindavan, we reached at 5:30 and Shaman and Krishna Prabhu decided we will do Radhakund up here. We will go to Radhakund and we will do the parikrama the same night. Now, just think over from material calculation perspective. You're taking a flight from Chicago, then you reach to Delhi, and then 5-6 hours or 3-4 hours conversation with this, and then finally you take another 3-4 hours to actually reach to Vrindavan. So we took prasad and we said, okay, we will go for Govardhan Parikrama. And we went first to near Radhakund. 1 to 2 miles before, everything is so crowded. You can't imagine what the crowd looks like. So we said, okay, what we will do is the auspicious time is to actually take a bath between 11 to 4 in the night, 11 to morning 4. So we will do the Govardhan Parikrama. So we started doing Govardhan Parikrama and we started singing Kirtan. The entire big Parikrama, we did that. And I was just so surprised. None of the kids complained that we are tired. None of the kids complained we want to sit. The whole Parikrama was just done within few hours and we reached to Radhakund at 11:30. Now I thought the crowd will be less, but the crowd was double how it was before. So we anyhow decided we want to go and attend and we were just standing in the queue. So this is 11:30. We were being crushed in between and I was like, Mukunda was with me and then Rasika was with Prempalai Madhuri. Whatever happened, so we have somehow were in the line and we ended up reaching at Radhakund at 4:30 a.m. Sorry, the auspicious time is till 5 a.m. And when we reached there, millions of people were just awaiting whole night. They wanted to actually take a bath in Radhakund. And I was just thinking, how merciful is Vrindavan and how merciful is Sri Radhakund. And at that day, actually, we did the parikrama, we took the bath, and we went home and wherever we were staying, and we reached there at 5:30. And all the devotees who came took a bath in Radhakund that day and actually got up. And I was thinking about how merciful is Vrindavan. Second aspect which I wanted to cover with short, we have short time, so I just want to cover this pastime of Mother Yamuna. Shamanand Krishna was beautifully mentioning one time Radha and Krishna were walking at the shores of Yamuna, and Yamuna was in so much of ecstasy, she was overflowing, going beyond her limit to touch the feet of Krishna, like she was doing when Krishna was being taken by by Vasudev to Nanda Maharaj, Vasudev from Nanda to Nanda Maharaj. So Mother Yamuna, one time, Krishna and Arjuna, they were in Khandav forest and they were very tired after whatever has happened. And then they come and they see a beautiful girl standing there. And Krishna asked Arjuna, why don't you go and ask her what is she doing in the forest? And Arjuna goes there and actually asks, what are you doing here? You're such a beautiful girl. What are you doing in the mid of the forest here? She says, I am the daughter of Janu Muni. My name is Jahnavi. And then I am here because I have a desire to get married with only one person, that's Lord Vishnu. Please forgive me, you are a young person, but I only gave my heart to that beautiful personality who is the Lord of everyone's life. I want to get married to him. And Arjuna comes back and then tells Krishna. And remember, Krishna is in the heart of every person. Krishna knows what is happening, and Krishna agreed to actually marry Mother Yamuna. And then there is a beautiful conversation. I want to end with this. A beautiful conversation between Mother Ganga and Mother Yamuna. They are having a conversation, glorifying each other, talking about how fortunate the other person is. So Yamuna says to Mother Ganga, Ganga, you are so fortunate. You directly come from the foot of Lord Krishna. So fortunate. Everyone is willing, eager to take a bath, and you travel from such a long distance to come here. And it also actually mentions beautifully in Garga Samhita, it's mentioned Mother Yamuna also comes with Mother Ganga from the planet. Because when Vaman Dev actually breaks that layer, at the time Mother Yamuna comes and Mother Ganga comes at the time. And then Mother Ganga glorifies Yamuna, saying that you are so fortunate. You are the first wife of Krishna. Of course, that's the conversation because eternal consort is Srimati Radharani. And then she glorifies her that Krishna is there in Vrindavan and always there with you. And that's Mother Ganga actually later complains or kind of says that what is my position? What Yamuna is so fortunate. Why am I not so fortunate? And Lord Krishna says, I'll appear as Lord Chaitanya. And then you will reside in Navadvip, where I'll daily come and I'll have many wonderful pastime taking a bath in Mother Ganga. So with that, I would like to end here. Just to summarize, here Narada Muni is asking Dhruv Maharaj to actually go to Madhuvan forest and Vrindavan. Prabhupada beautifully writes about 12 forests of Vrindavan. And we started talking about how reciprocative Vrindavan forest is always willing to fulfill the desire, even for a person who is not qualified to enter there. We talked about what is the qualification of enter Vrindavan. We took an example of Akrura. And then we talked about the mood of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that we are here to assist Srimati Radharani to come in association of Lord Krishna. And that's why Kurukshetra is the highest place, because that's the mood of separation. And then we talked about how Sunanda and Nanda Maharaj are talking about, and then Sunanda is talking about saying Prayagraj actually worshipped Vrajabhumi Vrindavan. And then he explains how actually Prayagraj came into existence and how Vrindavan did not come, and Lord said, that's my eternal abode. And then after that, we talked about the position of Yamuna Devi, how she actually got the association of Lord Krishna. And this is beautiful, Vrindavan. Well, we may not be qualified, at least I'm not qualified, but meditating on these pastimes, one day, Prabhupada says, if you don't have, if you can't cry for Krishna, you cry that you do not cry for Krishna. You can't cry for Krishna. So, in that mood, we may not be qualified to go to Vrindavan, but we yearn to actually be there and meditate on those beautiful pastimes. I was there. This is not this yatra, but the previous yatra. We went during the summer season and we were at Radhakund at around evening. And there were beautiful birds above Radhakund. There was a kind of the electric, whatever, the wire and all that stuff. They were completely silent, just sitting there. I was thinking about how fortunate they are. They can get to be there next to Radhakund, sleep there, meditating on Radhakund. So that's the actually whole qualification we have, that by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, by mercy of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we get to know about the glories of Sri Vrindavan Dham. With that, I would like to end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai, Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, 12 Forest of Vrindavan ki jai. Any comments or any reflections anyone wants to add here? Shri Shri Radha Gopi Janala Bhagwan ki jai, Taipati Tapan Gaurari ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Would you like to add here something, Prabhu Sham Kishore Prabhu? Sorry, I did not do a proper justice, but please forgive me. You are always meditating on Sri Vrindavan Dham. You are the right authority to actually speak on the topic, the art of eternal love. You want to add something? Why are you Krishna? That's the mood of Vrindavan, Prabhu. You would like to add something? Martha Cheese, you want to add something?
Just transported us to the
I can't. I live in a gutter, bro. I can only take you there. Anybody else want to add anything? Okay. Any comments online? Okay. Thank you so much. La Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, man.